Hello everyone, this is Money Mom. Welcome to the channel. Today I want to share with you guys about 5 things I've learned the hard way. Let's get started and talk about it. And by the way, I could do a video called 500 things I've learned the hard way, but it might be a several hour video. So I'm just going to go over 5. I'm sure there's more, and in some of these I'm still in the process. First one is the interest on debt really adds up. When I first moved to Dallas, Texas, I was wanting to get all these different department store cards because I was really into clothes at the time. And so I was getting them and it was adding up and I was paying the minimum balance. Sum it up in a nutshell, found out that I could no longer pay the minimum balance on these. One of the friends at the church I was going to at the time came over and sat down with me and showed me how much I was actually paying. That was really nice of him to do that, and he made some suggestions. His biggest suggestion was get a part-time job. So I worked evenings and weekends at Sally's Beauty Supply. That beauty supply store was only open for a year at that location. And so I worked there for a complete year and took all of that money I earned and threw it at the debt. I think I owed like $2,800 total for all of it. And I paid all my debt off, and I've never been in credit card debt since. The interest on debt really adds up. You do eventually have to pay it, okay? Number 2, comparison is I'm going to say 2 of these, and I'm just putting them together. Comparison is a death of joy. I still compare myself to other people in so many areas. I can be kind of competitive. And I'll be honest, especially with frugality, there's people that are so much more frugal than me and are way more frugal than me when it comes to saving on groceries. But then I'm way more frugal than some people. And so instead of us all comparing who's the most frugal or who's the best at this, let's look at what we can do and how we can improve in our own life. I know that that is something I am constantly trying to work on. Also, people pleasing. When we try to please other people, we end up pleasing no one, and we end up just becoming so unhappy. It just causes so much strife and stress and unhappiness and expectations, obligations. And this is something I'm going to say that with those 2, comparison and people pleasing, are things I'm in the process of learning. And what I'm working on is better communication skills. And what I'm doing is telling people what I am willing to do. Because a lot of times when you're people pleasing, there's a lot of guilt and resentment that goes along with that. Hey, that's a whole separate video. Okay, number 3, saving and investing early, even on a small tight budget. Do what you can. Even small amounts can add up. Okay, number 4, this is probably the biggest one. Not taking care of your health comes back to bite you. Your body keeps score of all your poor choices. And a lot of them you don't realize until you're like in your 50s, and it really does add up. Right now I've been doing a bunch of mobility exercises for people 50 and above. And so I think what I'll do is I may show you guys in a video, if you wanted, some of the exercises that I'm doing, because every little bit helps, right? Anything we can do to keep ourselves more physically fit and keep ourselves mobile, moving, strength training, all that good stuff. And number 5, last but not least, and this is something I'm a work in progress on this one, silence really is golden. No response is a response. Just a simple smile or a nod of the head or any of that is perfect. I mean, we don't have to respond to everything. A lot of times I feel like I need to give an immediate response to an email, to a text, to a phone call. And sometimes we may not be ready. Whenever I am quick to respond, a lot of times I regret how I respond because I need time to process and think things through. And I think many of us are always feeling rushed. And when we feel rushed, we can make mistakes in our speech and how we handle things rather than sit back. So if a friend calls you, maybe she asks for a favor and she leaves it on your voicemail. And she's like, call me back right away. I really need to talk to you about this. She doesn't know when you got that message, okay? So you don't really know how to respond and what you're thinking about it. You might need to really sit down and work through that to figure out, can I do this favor? Is this something? Sit with the silence for a while before responding to things. And that's just overall, there's so many conversations I don't need to be a part of, things like that. So bottom line, silence is golden. These are 5 hard lessons I've learned, and I'm still in the process of learning. I want to hear from you. Please share some hard lessons you've learned. I'd like to hear from you in the comments below. That's all I have to say for now. I love you, I appreciate you, and I sure hope to see you on the next video. Bye, everybody.